2.
Buenas and half a day, everyone. The Committee on Rules hereby calls this virtual meeting to order. For the record, today is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021, and the time now is 3:22 p.m. Some housekeeping rules for all of us before we begin. The host of this hearing will mute all participants until called upon by the chair. When called to speak, please ensure that you are unmuted and that you are speaking into your microphone. Members of the committee wishing to speak may indicate their desire to speak to the chair through the in-app chat feature. During a vote on a motion, members of the committee shall show a raise of hand to confirm their vote. In the event of an objection to a motion, committee members shall voice their objection to the chair. The Committee on Rules director shall then take roll call. All members must abide by all rules of conduct and quality assurance standards, including but not limited to using a desktop or laptop computer with a webcam and microphone built in, broadcasting from a quiet room with little to no interruptions, broadcasting from a room with adequate lighting specifically to ensure that your face is visible and not backlit, ensuring that the member's face is visible at all times, wearing proper attire, using only respectful and professional language and conduct, and not utilizing virtual backgrounds during the entire duration of the meeting. Any member wishing to pose questions to the clerk, legal bureau, or Committee on Rules staff shall request the chair for a recess. The meeting will go off live stream as discussed with MIS. We will now begin the meeting. If I can please have the Committee on Rules Director, Ms. Mary Maravilla, take roll.
Chairperson Vice Speaker Munia Barnes. Vice Chair Legislative Secretary Shelton.
Hafaday.
Speaker Terlahi. Senator Nelson. Senator San Augustine. Senator Rajel. Senator Terlahi. Senator Perez. Senator Blas.
Here.
Senator Torres.
Kagitu.
Senator Perez.
Present.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Director Maravilla. Does the chair hear a motion to excuse members not present? Thank you, Senator San Augustine. Is there a second? It has been moved by Senator San Augustine and seconded by Senator Torres that members not present be excused. Are there any objections? Motion carries. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the core meeting minutes from September 16, 2021? These documents for today's meeting can be found in our Google Drive folder, and this document is entitled 01 Meeting Minutes.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And is there a second? It has been moved by Senator Torres and seconded by Senator San Augustine to ratify the core meeting minutes from September 16th, 2021. Are there any objections? Hearing no objections, the motion carries. Masi colleagues. The first item of core business is an update on document tracking. As Legislative Secretary, I will now provide my report, which can be found in the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 02 Legislative Secretary's Report. The Office of the Legislative Secretary hereby reports the following as of today, October 13th, 2021. Appointments by Imagahagan Guahan. There are 75 appointments submitted by Governor Lulian Guerrero. The status of these appointments are as follows. 1 appointment confirmed during the February 2021 session, 14 appointments confirmed during the March session, 8 appointments confirmed during the April session, 7 appointments confirmed during the May session, 7 appointments confirmed during the July session, 13 appointments confirmed during the August session, 10 appointments confirmed during the September session. with a total of 60 appointments confirmed by y legislator in Guahan to date. Of the remaining 18 appointments, there are some pending confirmation, 4 appointments have been withdrawn, and 2 extended beyond the authorized 90-day term limit. The legislatura has received 18 zone change applications, and we have also received 5 departmental agency rules and regulations and are currently being considered by legislatura through legislation. 3 are now public laws. That completes the secretary's report. Next item of business is the ratification of referrals. The referral of bills and appointments are indicated in each of the corresponding logs, which can be found in our Google Drive folder. 03 legislative item logs. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify referrals for bill numbers 165-36 COR through 199-36 COR and 200-36 COR through 209-36 COR? Speaker Terlahi, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move that notwithstanding the rules that Bill 206 be referred to the Committee on Health as regards to the rules and regulations for child placement agencies by the Department of Public Health and Social Services. As you know, this bill has an appropriation of $1,000 attached to it in addition to the substance of the bill, which is the rules and regulations for child placement agencies by the Department of Public Health and Social Services. And I would ask that notwithstanding the $1,000, that was to come out of the legislature, and if that is already determined to be sufficient and that amount is available, that the bill then be referred to the Committee on Health so that it would be within the committee with the substantive jurisdiction over this subject matter, Madam Chair, according to our rules.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Unfortunately, we cannot entertain a motion to re-refer a bill. Only the chair of the Committee on Rules has the authority to refer or re-refer bills. And at this time, the bill that you speak of, 206-36, was referred to the Committee on Appropriations because it does in fact carry an appropriation measure within the bill. And so we can entertain a different motion, but not a motion to re-refer at this time, unless you have an objection to the ratification.
Well, I'm asking for a motion notwithstanding the rules, Madam Chair, so that I do not have to object to the ratification of all the other referrals.
Okay, so there is a motion notwithstanding the rules to re-refer.
As you know, Madam Chair,
Bill 206-36. Are there any objections?
I had, Madam Chair, if I could just continue. I sent a letter on October 5th to the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations, asking him to use the power granted by Section 6.01D1 of the Standing Rules of the 36th Guam Legislature to re-refer Bill 206-36 LS to the Committee on Health. According to Section 6.01D1 of the Standing Rules, the Committee on Appropriations shall be required to review all appropriation referred to the Committee on Appropriations with the assistance of the Office of Finance and Budget to determine the viability of the funding source in the proposed appropriation, authorization for appropriations, or tax benefit bills. The Committee on Appropriations and/or the Office of Finance and Budget shall determine in writing if the funding source cited in the appropriation bills are sufficient. Only after such written determination is provided, the chairperson of the Committee on Appropriations may re-refer said appropriation bills to the principal committee with subject matter jurisdiction. So I did make this response, and I do believe, although I have not seen, that the committee has determined that the funding source is viable. And so if that is the case, that is why I'm making this request of you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. We do have the motion here. And Yes, the chair of the Committee on Appropriations does have the jurisdiction to re-refer the bill if he chooses to do so after determining funding availability. You've made your motion and there has been an objection to the motion, so we will take roll call.
Madam Chair, before we do, may I also just comment that the bill has had a public hearing and the committee report has already been submitted to the Committee on Rules as of yesterday. Just for clarification about the status of this bill, I wanted the committee to be aware.
Thank you, Senator Torres. Yes, we are in receipt of Bill 206 in the Committee on Rules.
That's correct,
Madam
Madam
Director.
Chair. So it is outside of the jurisdiction already of the Committee on Appropriations, and it is back in jurisdiction of the Committee on Rules, which you are the acting chair of.
Thank you very much. Madam Committee Director, please take roll.
Chairperson Vice Speaker Barnes, excused. Vice Chair Shelton,
Ahi.
Speaker Terlahi,
Again,
Senator Nelson, excused. Senator Sinaludin,
Aye.
Senator Rajel, excused. Senator Terlahi,
Again.
Senator Perez,
Again.
Senator Blas,
What's the motion?
the
Senator
motion,
Blas, the motion is notwithstanding notwithstanding the rules that we re-refer Bill 206-36 to the Committee on Health.
Yeah. I'm good.
thank you. Senator Torres,
Ahi.
With 4 ayes and 3 nays, motion fails. We are back to the ratification of referrals. The referrals of bills and appointments are indicated in each of the corresponding logs in our Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 03 Legislative Item Logs. And again, this is for bills 165-36 COR through 199-36 COR and 200-36 COR through 209-36 COR. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of these bills?
Motion to ratify.
Thank you, Senator San Augustine. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you,
Second.
Senator Torres. It has been moved by Senator San Augustine, seconded by Senator Torres to ratify these bills, and there has been an objection. Madam Director, please take roll.
Chairperson Vice Speaker Barnes, excused. Vice Chair Legislative Secretary Shelton,
Again,
Speaker Terlahi,
Ahi.
Senator Nelson, excused. Senator San Augustine.
Again.
Senator Rajel, excused. Senator Talahi.
Again.
Senator Perez.
Again.
Senator Blas.
Again.
Senator Torres.
Again.
With 6 ayes and 1 nay, the motion fails. Okay, we will now move on to the ratification. Yes, Senate Speaker Terlahi, you are recognized.
I'd like to make a motion to ratify the referrals of Bill 165-36 through 205-36.
And Madam Speaker, could you amend that to include those after 206, 205, and then 207 to 209?
Sure.
Okay, so there has been a motion to ratify the referrals of bill numbers 165-36 through 205-36 and 207-36 through 209-36 COR. Are there any objections? There has been an objection. Please take a roll.
Chairperson Vice Speaker Barnes, excused. Vice Chair Legislative Secretary Shelton.
Hungen,
Speaker Terlahi.
Again.
Senator Nelson, excused. Senator San Augustine.
Again.
Senator Rajel, excused. Senator Terlahi.
Again.
Senator Perez.
Again.
Senator Blas.
Again.
Senator Torres.
Ahi.
with 6 ayes and 1 nay, the motion fails. We will now move on to the ratification of appointments. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify appointments? Thank you, Senator San Augustine. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Senator Terlahi. It has been moved by Senator San Augustine and seconded by Senator Terlahi to ratify the referrals of executive appointments. Are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion carries. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referrals of resolutions?
So move.
Thank you, Senator Terlahi, and seconded by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections to ratifying the referrals of resolutions? Seeing no objections, motion carries. We will now move to consideration of items eligible for placement on the session agenda. Members, the committee reports for the following items have been duly filed and met Committee on Rules Committee report deadline of October 8th, 2021.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Senator Blas.
Madam Chair, in recognition that the ratifications of bills 165 all the way through Bill 205, well, basically everything there failed. How do we move on those that failed ratification?
Senator Blas, we can still move items onto the agenda without ratifying the referrals, as we have in previous core meetings.
how do you move on a bill that hasn't been ratified?
We can take a moment's recess and we can get an answer for you, but we've done so in the past. We will take a moment's recess. Half a day, everyone. The Committee on Rules is back from recess. Speaker Chalahi, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion again to ratify the referrals of all bills except for Bill 206. I'll read my motion.
Okay, there has been a motion to ratify all bills. Those are bills 165 through 205, and then 207 through 209 COR. Are there any objections?
I object.
There has been an objection. Madam Director, please take roll.
Chairperson Vice Speaker Barnes, excused. Vice Chair Shelton.
Again,
Speaker Chalahi.
Again,
Senator Nelson, excused. Senator San Augustine.
Again.
Senator Rigel.
Nay.
Senator Chalahi.
Again.
Senator Perez.
Again.
Senator Blas.
Aye.
Senator Torres.
Aye.
with 5 ayes and 3 nays, the motion fails.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Senator San
I
Augustine.
just have a comment to ask. I remember hearing the speaker mentioned that there was no response, that it was a viable source for Bill 206-36, a viable source of funding. Is that a true statement?
Senator San Augustine, I'm not sure. Are you asking me if you have a viable source of funding?
Yeah, no. If Bill 206 did not have a viable source, because they do have a viable source. And I went to talk to OLB and they said, no, it's in their report. And I'm just trying to get clarification of what was the issue, because it is in fact an appropriation bill. And that's why we handled it. So I'm just trying to clarify if that was the statement of the speaker that said that because the OLB or my office didn't respond. And based on when I spoke with the OLB folks, they said, no, they did. And it is a viable source of funding, $1,000. So that's why it stayed in my committee. And that's why I had the bill reported out already to court. So I just wanted to clear that so we can move on and just have the bill and then let it be decided on the floor on Bill
Yes, thank-
206 by the body.
if I could
Thanks,
explain.
Senator San Augustine. Yes, that is correct. And you have already submitted Bill 206 to the Committee on Rules. And so the objection now is that it is in Committee on Rules and there is another ask for a re-referral from the Committee on Rules to the Committee on Health. So that is what we voted on earlier.
If I could answer the question of the appropriations chair, yes. So I did at the public hearing read the OFB's statement on the bill, but it just doesn't say that the funding source is viable or sufficient. It says the bill, if enacted, appropriates $1,000 from unexpended fund balance from the office of Senator Mary Camacho Torres of the Guam Legislature to the program. And that's all. It just didn't make a final determination. I'm guessing, of course, there has to be money there or this wouldn't have been written into the bill. So that's not the reason for my objection, but I was bringing it up that if it is indeed a viable, I couldn't determine that from this letter, but if it's viable, then that's from the legislature. And that issue is resolved. And so that's why I was asking that it then be referred to the Committee on Health for the substantive matter in the bill outside of the $1,000 appropriation from the legislature.
Okay, understood, but it is a viable source. And that's why we handled it. And that's why we had a hearing and it's settled. It's been sent down. So if the motion is to not approve it, I would have to object to that it be approved. And that I'm looking at the fiscal note. It does say that there's sufficient funds. If enacted appropriation from the balance of, but moving along, I'm in support of the bill. I already had the hearing. It's not an issue no more. And I don't know how CORE is going to re-refer something that's already been heard. OB, at the end of the day, when we go to the body and this bill is heard, it'll be on the committee of the whole. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
It
because
is an
it'll become
appropriation if you look at
appropriation.
it.
Okay, thank you very much, Senator San
Thank you.
Augustine. Yes, you are correct. The Bill 206, the committee report has been filed with the Committee on Rules, and it was just a couple of minutes before this Committee on Rules meeting that we received a letter of request from the speaker to re-refer the bill to the Committee on Health. And so we have not even addressed that letter yet and before coming into this meeting. If there's nothing else on Bill 206, we'll move on with other items on the agenda. We did not ratify any bills beyond 165-36 COR today. So if anyone wishes to add a bill onto the agenda beyond 165-36, I ask that you do it with make your motion with the notwithstanding provision. But I will begin to recognize members to add onto the agenda. Speaker Terlahi, you are recognized. You're on mute, Speaker.
I'd like to move, notwithstanding the rules, to place bill number 209. It is. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. I'd like to move to place bill number 41-36 COR as introduced by Therese Terlahi, an act to amend 4210 of Chapter 4, Title 19, Guam Code annotated relative to expediting social studies and reports for adoptions. Onto the agenda.
Okay, there has been a motion to add bill number 41, notwithstanding the rules. And for information of the body, bill 41 has not cleared the Committee on Rules deadline. It has not been received or verified at this time. But there is a motion on the floor.
It has been received by the Committee on Rules, not yet uploaded though. That's correct.
Yeah, not uploaded and not reviewed. Committee on Rules Director, can you verify that we received it? On my latest tracking, I don't have that bill.
And the Bill 41 referral had already been ratified, by the way.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, Speaker. Their Bill 41 has not been received yet by CORE.
Okay, we can still entertain the motion notwithstanding the rules if you'd like to proceed, Speaker.
Well, I'm going to make a motion then to put how do you say that? Potential bills on motions on the floor. And so that we can give notice of these. I think all of these are either routing or pending a committee report submittal. But the first one is time sensitive. It's bill number 209. This is an act to adopt the proposed amendments to Article 5 of Chapter 4, Title 26, Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations as transmitted to Il Legislature in Guam pursuant to the Administrative Adjudication Law attached here to as Exhibit A. These are the sanitary permit rules and regs. We had a hearing on the rules. We thought they were just going to go through the AAA, but they requested an amendment. So we submitted a bill and we have to have another hearing. And that hearing is set already and it should occur prior to session. So we're hoping to get this onto the session because that's the one that's time sensitive. They want the amendment to go into effect prior to the rules going into effect by default.
So thank you, Madam Speaker. We will add it to the notice for potential items to be added onto the session agenda. And that is for Bill 41 and Bill 209.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yes, both of those bills and also Bill 179-36. An act to add a new section 13510 to Article 5, Chapter 13, Title 19, Guam Code annotated relative requiring rules and regulations for the licensure of adoption agencies. That was submitted to the Committee on Rules at 1:47 p.m. today. It's not
Okay,
yet uploaded.
thank you
I
very much. For the record, yes, we did receive Bill 179, but it has not been cleared by court or uploaded. Did not meet the Committee on Rules deadline, but we will add it to the list of items to be moved on the session floor and send it out in the Committee on Rules notice, and that is Bill 209, Bill 41, and Bill 179.
All right, thank you. I also have 3 nominations that have been submitted to Committee on Rules, but not yet uploaded to my knowledge. And I'd like to also move that those be added to the session agenda. These are the nomination of Sean M. Manjola, member COSAS Board of Advisors, the nomination of Veronica M. Salas, member COSAS Board of Advisors, and the nomination of Lena N.B. McDaniel as a member to the Guam Parole Board.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. We will add those 3 appointments for notice to be moved on the session floor.
All right, then just the last one is to a potential, no, sorry, the hearing is scheduled for this one. This one is for the nomination of David B. Herrera, member to Chamorro Land Trust. So if the committee report is accepted by the Committee on Rules, by the time we're in session, I intend to move that one as well.
Okay, thank you very much. We will take note of that. Is there anyone else who wishes to place bills on the session agenda? Senator San Augustine, oh, I'm sorry, Speaker, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the authors are going to move these, but I want to, we are trying to finalize committee reports and hoping to get on the session agenda bills 185, 198, and 176. All of these have
198 and 176. Can you read the title for us?
Yes, so 185 is an act to transfer lot 10122-14 new-R1 Municipality of Dedido, formerly known as the Dedido Solid Waste Transfer Station, to the Guam Environmental Protection Agency for their headquarters. Bill number 198-36 is an act to transfer lots number R29A and lot 29A consisting of 8.955 plus or minus and 7544 plus or minus square meters in the municipality of Dedido to the Guam Regional Transit Authority for the purpose of developing and constructing a park and ride facility. We're trying to confirm something tomorrow, Madam Chair, and that will be submitted. The last one is Bill number 176. It's an act to amend section 19603 of Title 11 Guam Code annotated Chapter 19, Article 6 relative to vaccination and treatment during a declared state of public health emergency.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. So those are bills 185, 198, and 176 for notice to potentially be moved on the session agenda. Okay, Senator San Augustine, you are recognized.
Madam Chair, so we're from Bill 165-36 to 199, we can add on. Am I hear that clearly, or do we have to have a notwithstanding House rules?
Notwithstanding the rule, you can make the motion notwithstanding the rules, Mr. Chair. I mean,
Okay, well, notwithstanding House rules, I have a total of about 12 or 13 bills. I'm gonna start with 2 bills. Bill 170-36, introduced by Senator Frank Blas, co-sponsored by myself, Senator Tony Ada, an act to appropriate the sum of $250,000 from the revenues received pursuant to 11 Guam Code Annotated Chapter 42, available for fiscal year 2021 to Guam Unique Merchandise and Art Guma for the purpose of providing assistance to incubated business development with their program.
yes, Senator San Augustine, yes, bill number 170-36 has been cleared by court and it is online. So yes, you can move that, but you still need the notwithstanding provision.
Yes, and that's what I stated earlier, Madam Chair, notwithstanding the House rules.
Okay.
Do
Are there
you-
any
do you need-
objections to placing Bill number 170-36 LS, notwithstanding the House rules, on the session agenda? I hear no objections. Oh, Senator Blas. You're muted,
You
sir.
object- You objecting?
Yeah, there, it's actually amending the motion to notwithstanding the decisions, the actions, the previous actions of the body. Our house rules state one thing, previous action is another.
Oh, okay.
Not-
So now standing the previous action of the Committee on Rules. Is that what you're
Yeah.
referring to, Senator Boss?
Yes, sir. That makes
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay, are there any objections?
No objection.
No objections. Motion passes. Bill number 170-36 is added to the session agenda. Senator
All right.
Snodgrass, you may proceed.
Yes, notwithstanding the previous motion by the Committee on Rules, Bill 172-36 LS introduced by myself, Senator San Augustine, co-sponsored by Senator Clint Rogel, Senator Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Senator Frank Blas Jr., Senator Amanda Shelton, Senator Jose Pedro Terlay, an act to appropriate $3,500,000 from the revenues received pursuant to Chapter 42 of Title 11 Guam Code annotated to the Guam Preservation Trust for the purpose of revitalizing and renovation of the historic former Francisco Q. Sanchez Elementary School property under the jurisdiction of the Humatak Mayor's Office. That's Bill 172.
172. Yes, that is cleared by court, is up online. Are there any objections to add Bill number 172-36, notwithstanding our previous actions? No objections. Motion passes. Bill number 172-36 is added to the agenda. Senator San Augustine, you are still recognized.
Yes, thank you. I have 4 additional bills that we have submitted. It's pending now, more than likely to be brought as motion to the floor on the day of session. So I just want to give due notice.
Okay,
We'll begin with bill number 171-36 COR, introduced by Senator Frank Blas Jr., co-sponsored by myself, Senator San Augustine, and Senator Anthony Ada, an act to appropriate the sum of $250,000 from the revenues received pursuant to 11 Guam Code Annotated Chapter 42, available for fiscal year 2021 to the Valley of Lati LLC for the purpose of creating a cultural center that will provide a place where the Chamorro culture can be celebrated and the cultures of our region appreciated.
okay, thank you very much. Are there any, that is for notice, Bill number 171-36, potentially to be moved onto the session agenda. We will add it to the notice. Continue,
Okay.
Senator San
Yeah,
Augustine.
Madam Chair, do you want me to read each bill or just give the number?
You can, oh yeah, please read the title of the bill for the public.
All right, thank you. And we got potentially for the session, bill number 187-36, introduced by myself and Senator San Augustine and co-sponsored by Senator Delina Cruz Nelson, an act to appropriate $3,500,000 from the 2021 earned income tax credit reimbursement to the Department of Parks and Recreation State Historic Preservation Office for the purpose of constructing the Naftan Imananata, a sacred burial ground for the dignified reinterment of our Guam ancestral remains.
Thank
Okay,
you,
and
Senator
I'll
San
keep-
Augustine.
I'll just keep reading all the bills,
Yes.
okay?
Please.
Okay, the next one is bill number 205-36 LS Joe S, introduced by myself, Joe S. San Augustine, an act to add subsection 8 to section 15401A of Article 4, Chapter 15, Title 4, Guam Code Annotated, relative to authorizing the Guam Ethics Commission to retain legal services. Okay, that bill has been added. The next bill, then this has been discussed earlier, but I just wanted to read it out loud that it may be brought before the floor, more than likely. Is bill number 206-36 LS, introduced by Senator Mary Camacho Torres, co-sponsored by Senator Talina Cruz Nelson, Senator Jose Pedro Chalai, Senator Amanda Shelton, Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Senator James Moylan, Senator Clint Rogel, Senator Joe Sinox, myself, Senator Tony Ada, and Senator Frank Bloss, as amended by the Committee on General Government Operation, Appropriation, and Housing, an act to require the promulgation and publication of interim rules for all child placement agencies by the Department of Public Health and Social Services, and to ensure transparency, permit public participation, and provide a method of making such rules readily accessible to the public, and to further appropriate $1,000 from the unexpended funds of the Office of Senator Mary Camacho Torres of the Estado and Guam to the Department of Public Health and Social Services for this purpose. Those 4 bills I've read have been submitted ready to courts pending whatever decision is made by CORE. I have 7 other bills, Madam Chair, that I'll read out. These reports, committee reports will be submitted hopefully by Friday, so they'll be ready for session, but at least there's due notice given to the public. We have bills number 173-36 LS, introduced by Senator James Moylan, co-sponsored by myself, Senator Joel Sinoxin, and act to amend section 11115 of chapter 11, section 9112 of chapter 9, and section 1117 of chapter 1, section 14105 of chapter 14, and section 1303 of chapter 13, all from Title 3 Guam Code and to add section 15110 to chapter 15 and section 1124 to chapter 1, both of Title 3 Guam Code relative to addressing and modernizing election-related issues, inclusive of write-in votes, counting provisional ballots, electioneering at polling places, the cancellation of primary election in certain circumstances, and vacancies. The next bill, ma'am, my colleagues just bear with me, and people want, please bear. I'm going to read all these bills that have the potential of getting to the floor. Bill 174-36 LS, introduced by Senator Jim Moylan, co-sponsored by myself, Senator Snoxon, act to amend section 15201 and section 15206 of chapter 15 and section 3104 and section 3105 of chapter 3 and section 6108 of chapter 6, all from Title 3 Guam Code annotated, to add section 3102.1G to chapter 3 of Title 3 Guam Code annotated, and to add section 3101.3H to chapter 3 Title 16 Guam Code annotated relative to addressing election-related timelines associated with the primary election, nomination petition, and voter registration. We have also bill number 196-36 COR, introduced by myself, Senator Sinoxin, co-sponsored by Senator Amanda Shelton, Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Senator Frank Bloss Jr., Senator Talina Cruz Nelson, Senator Jose Pedro Chalai, and Senator Clint Rogel. An act to appropriate $9,500,000 from the 2001 Earned Income Tax Credit reimbursement to the Mayor's Council of Guam for the purpose of constructing, renovating, or repairs of Guam sports facilities. The next bill, ma'am, is bill number 197-36, introduced by myself, Senator Joe Sinoxi, co-sponsored by Senator Amanda Shelton, Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Senator Jose Pedro Chalai, Senator Frank Bloss Jr., Senator Jim Moylan, Senator Clint Rogel, and Senator Talina Cruz Nelson. An act to appropriate $10 million from the 2021 Earned Income Tax Credit reimbursement to the University of Guam for the purpose of providing additional financial support toward the construction of the Student Service Center and the School of Engineering buildings. Next bill, ma'am, is bill number 199-36 COR, introduced by yourself, Senator Amanda Shelton, co-sponsored by myself, Senator Joe Sinoxi, Vice Speaker Senator Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Senator Talina Cruz Nelson, Senator Clint Rogel, Senator James Moylan, Senator Jose Pedro Chalai. An act to appropriate $580,070 from the revenues received pursuant to Chapter 42 of Title 11 Guam Code annotated, the Earned Income Program reimbursed for calendar year 2021 to the Public Defender Service Corporation for the operation of the Elder Justice Center. Next bill, ma'am, is bill number 200-36 COR, introduced by myself, Senator Joe Sinoxin, co-sponsored by Senator Amanda Shelton, yourself. An act to appropriate $10 million from the 2021 Earned Income Tax Credit reimbursement to the Guam Visitors Bureau for the purpose of funding operation infrastructure improvements and destination development. Next bill, ma'am, is bill number 204-36 LS, introduced by yourself, Senator Amanda Shelton, co-sponsored by Senator Denina Cruz Nelson, Vice Speaker Senator Tina Rose Winter Barnes, Senator Mary Camacho Torres, Senator Clint Rigel, Senator James Moylan, Senator Joe S. Augustine, Senator Jose Pedro Chalai, and Senator Chris Duenas. An act to add Article 16 to Chapter 22, Title 5, Guam Code annotated relative to establishing the opioid recovery trust fund to direct all opioid litigation monies entitled to Guam into such fund and to establish the opioid recovery advisory council to be known as the opioid prevention and treatment. Also, I'd like to mention that I had introduced bill number 210-36 that has been hopefully to be referred to Senator Pedro Chalai, Senator Pedro Chalai, and it's an act to amend section 79606 of Article 6 of Chapter 79, Title 21, Guam Code relative to increasing the size of the Memorial Foundation and to approve the plan for the Guam Pacific Island Gold Star Memorial Monument. And that's been referred to Senator Pedro Chalai's office. And we hope that he will have a hearing before session and we can adopt this so that the Gold Star Memorial can bring their monument in. All their plans have already been accepted and stamped by Public Works. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator San Augustine. So we have noted all of those bills and we will include them in the session notice. Okay, anyone else wishing to place a bill on the session agenda or give notice? Senator Blas, you are recognized, followed by Senator Perez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'd like to be able to move bill number 73-36 COR, an act to amend subsection 60102 and 60103 of Chapter 10, Title 10, Guam Code annotated relative to removing the restrictions on ownership of suppressors and silencers from Guam law by enacting the Hearing Protection Act of 21, sponsored by Senator V. Anthony Ara, myself, Senator Frank Boss Jr., Senator Christopher M. Duenas, and Senator James C. Moylan.
There has been a motion to add Bill 73-36. Are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion passes. Senator Blas, you are still recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would like to move further bill number 106-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Public Safety, Emergency Response, Military and Veterans Affairs, the Mayor's Council and Public Transit, sponsored by Senator James C. Moylan, Senator Joe S. San Augustine, Senator Jose Pedro Chalai, and myself, Senator Frank F. Blas Jr. It's an act to add subsection 60109.111I to Chapter 60, Title 10, Guam Code annotated relative to including police precincts to the list of exceptions where an authorized individual shall not openly carry a firearm or carry a concealed firearm.
There has been a motion to place bill number 106-36 on the agenda. Are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion carries. Senator Blas, you are still recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'd like to move further. Bill number 152-36 COR as amended by the Committee on General Government Operations, Housing, introduced by Senator Telo Titaitigui, Senator Sabina Flores Perez, and Senator Joanne Brown, which is an act to close inactive Government of Guam special fund accounts and to repeal enabling legislation of such inactive Government of Guam special fund accounts as recommended by the Office of Public Accountability, the OPA, pursuant to OPA report number 19-02 onto the session agenda.
There has been a motion to place bill number 152-36 onto the session agenda. Are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion passes. You may continue, Senator Blas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, just as a notice, I'd like to also be able to move if the reports get into the Committee on Rules on time. Just as a notice, bill number 142-36 LS introduced by myself, Senator Frank Boss Jr., which is an act to amend subsection 25.30 of chapter 25, Title 9 Guam Code annotated relative to ensuring that the offense of fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct against a minor cannot be reduced from a felony of the third degree to a misdemeanor. Onto session upon note, this is just a notice.
Yes.
Notification.
Okay. So Bill 142.
Okay.
Yes.
142. And then Bill number 143-36 LS, introduced by myself, Senator Frank Boss Jr. An act to amend subsection 25.15 of chapter 25, Title 9 Guam Code annotated, and subsection 25.20 of chapter 25, Title 9 Guam Code annotated to include other circumstances by which an individual can be found guilty of first or second degree criminal sexual conduct. And just a notification for session agenda.
Yes, 143. Please continue.
Thank you. Lastly, Madam Chair, it's on the Rules Committee agenda, but I would like at the request of the author to remove Bill number 129-36 from the session agenda. And Bill 129-36 LS is an act to add a new Article 14.1 to Chapter 1, Division 1, Title 5, Guam Code annotated relative to providing for the adjudication and settlement of outstanding war claims by establishing and funding the government of Guam World War II Survivor Claims Review Commission, and that's by Senators Tello Taitigui and myself, Senator Frank Boss Jr., to remove that from the session agenda.
There has been a motion to remove Bill number 129-36 from the proposed session agenda. Are there any objections to removing this bill? Hearing no objections, the motion passes. Senator Boss?
That's it, Madam Chair, because Bill 170, was moved by Senator Joseph Augustine, so that's all I got right now.
Got it. Thank you very much. Senator Perez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I make the motion to place Bill number 162-36 COR as substituted. It's an act to amend Section 50119 of Chapter 50, Section 51204 of Chapter 51, all of Title 10 Guam Code annotated, and to amend Section 10109G of Chapter 10, Title 22 Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations relative to authorizing the continuous appropriation of funds for program funds maintained by the Guam Environmental Protection Agency, sponsored by myself.
There has been a motion to add Bill number 162-36 onto the session agenda. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion passes. You may continue, Senator Perez.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. I believe we've submitted a committee report for Bill number 182-36 LS, just to give notice that we would like to place that on the agenda should it pass COR. It's amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue, Taxation, Labor, Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning. It's an act to amend Section 5214 of Article 3, Chapter 5, Title 5, Guam Code annotated relative to improving sole source procurement.
Duly noted, Senator Perez, you plan to move Bill 182 on the session floor.
Thank you. And that concludes my motions.
Thank you very much. Speaker Terlahi, I saw you raising your hand.
I'm sorry, I was just going to ask about the Bill 106 that we moved on to the agenda. When I'm looking at the listing, it indicates whether a bill was passed on file during the August session, but on this bill, it doesn't indicate that it was we moved to the inactive file, right? And so we're actually pulling it out of the inactive file. That one. That's all. I just wanted to make that, if that could be noted.
Okay, you want to note that this was in the inactive file. I believe this was attempted on the session floor to be added to the agenda multiple times, but that failed. So it never was added to the session agenda.
I think it was added to second reading, but it didn't make it to third. So I think according to the rules, it goes automatically to the inactive file. That's all.
Okay.
You're indicating the other statuses. Yeah, I just thought it should be clear what the status of that one was.
Okay, so, okay, I
I'm not
understand. Thank you very much.
Research motions to pull things out of the inactive file, but I don't have an
Sure.
objection.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone wishing to add bills to the agenda? Or any items to the agenda or give notice? Okay, then I will give notice. I know that we have Bill number 83-36 COR introduced by Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, James C. Moylan, an act to amend section 5101, 5104, 5107, 5109, 5112, 5114, 5118, and 5120 to repeal section 5103 and 5105 and to add 5119 and all to chapter 5 of Title 16 Guam Code annotated relative to the size, weight, and load limitations and restrictions of certain vehicles. This was passed on file during the August session, and it does remain on the session agenda, as well as Bill number 158-36 LS introduced by Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Mary Camacho Torres, Amanda L. Shelton, Joe S. San Augustine, Clinton E. Rigel, Jose Pito Terlahi, Frank F. Blas Jr., James C. Moylan, V. Anthony Atta, an act to add Chapter 54 to Title 17 Guam Code annotated to building up Guam's healthcare capacity and to cite this act as the Barada Act. That was also passed on file during the September session, so it does remain on the session agenda just to give the people notice. And if the following bills clear the Committee on Rules, then I plan to move these on the session floor, and that is Bill number 97-36 LS. Senior citizens by the request of a Congressman Hoban Guahan, the Guam Youth Congress, in accordance with 2 GCA Section 7102, an act to add a new Section 7117 to Chapter 7 of Title 17 Guam Code annotated relative to requiring Guam Department of Education and Guam charter schools to provide and regularly stock menstrual hygiene products in all Guam public and charter schools, and to cite this act as the Period Poverty Act of 2021. And I plan to add that to the session agenda if it is cleared by the Committee on Rules in time. And that is, I'm sorry if I cut out, but that is Bill number 97-36, as well as Bill number 199-36, as introduced by myself, Senator Joe San Augustine, Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, Talina Cruz Nelson. Oh, I'm sorry, this was already mentioned by Senator San Augustine. And also Bill number 204-36, also mentioned previously by Senator San Augustine. Okay, would anyone else like to give notice or to add any item onto the session agenda? Okay, thank you very much. With the placement of these bills and resolutions in the second reading file and the appointment under legislative concurrence, is there a motion to adopt the session agenda? Senator San Augustine, is there a second?
I second that.
Thank you. Moved by Senator San Augustine, seconded by Senator Terlahi. Are there any objections? Hearing no objection, motion passes. Are there any extensions of remarks?
Motion to adjourn.
There has been a motion to adjourn the Committee on Rules meeting. Is there a second?
Second that also.
Seconded by everyone, Senator Blas, motion by Senator San Augustine, seconded by Senator Blas. The time now is 4:58 p.m. and this Committee on Rules meeting is adjourned. Sidious Masi colleagues, please be safe and we will see you all at session. Thank you.